Hi everyone, it's Emma again. I've got my hands on Arianne Donoghue's CV. She is a PPC superstar. She's recently launched her own consultancy and she was named Search Personality of the Year in 2019. She is amazing. So I promise you she's given me permission for this. I'm hoping to go through her CV and do a live critique for you and show you the really simple formatting changes you can make to improve it. I'm not going to focus too much on what's written on the CV or how she's worded things. You can find advice on that on our website. But these are just this really simple formatting changes that will make a big impact on a CV and your job search. You can find everything I'm going to talk about in this video on the clockworkTalent website. I will drop a link below or above in the post with this video wherever you're watching it. We also do free CV critiques which you can apply for. We don't publish all of them like this, don't worry. Most of them are just over the phone or email, and we will go through your CV step by step and make the changes and improvements to land you your dream job. So let's quickly switch over to a really ugly below the chin webcam view of me doing Arianne's CV. So I'm going to start by making sure that the document is titled correctly with Arianne's name, which it is, just so it doesn't get lost in anyone's inbox. I would first of all move Arianne's name to the header of the CV. That way it's on every page and it won't get lost if it gets printed out. Everyone knows whose CV it is and what the document's about. I'd also add your address here, along with your contact details, so your email and your phone number. It just makes it really simple. It means it's on every page. You don't have to put your full address. I'd always put the town and postcode though, just so hiring managers can see where you're based and how easy it would be to get to their company maybe. You could also add a link to your LinkedIn, or a blog that you run, or a website that you run as a side hustle, anything that you find that you think might be interesting to an employer. So then Arianne has a little summary of what she's all about. So I would title this personal profile, and just have about a paragraph summing up who you are, what you've achieved in your career, what education you have, just a little brief summary about you. It's a great way to get to whet the appetite of the hiring manager, let them get to know you quickly, and then make them read the rest of the CV. Arianne has a skills and strengths sections, which I'm going to combine and put skills and tools instead. It's really good to include all the tools that you use, because it shows a hiring manager that maybe their company already uses Google Ads or Screaming Frog or DoubleClick. And they'll know by looking at this that they won't have to train you in it. So it's really handy, a really easy way of showing exactly what you can do for a business. And I'm just going to quickly faff around getting rid of these so we can make it all one big paragraph. Full stops. There we go. And then just literally bullet point them, and you can put them into more than one column if it saves room as well. I would normally put that into more than one column, but this is a new Chromebook. I'm not actually sure how to do that on Google Docs, so bear with. Then she has additional activities, so I would actually move that down to the bottom of the CV and have it as the ending section. You could also use this section for hobbies and interests. If you don't have the mentoring things and volunteering that Arianne does, I would include things like swimming and baking, things that you do outside of work that you're interested in. This really shows your personality off. If a hiring manager is trying to get to know you, this is an easy way of doing it. Show you what you're interested in outside of work, what you're passionate about. Okay, so then we have experience. Which I'm going to title professional experience. Arianne's laid this out pretty perfectly, really. I would just bold everything. I would move the dates, so put July 2019 to present, and then have edit the name of the company there, and then have the job title underneath. And then I would repeat this for all of the positions that are on there. Arianne's got loads of experience, so that's really nice. But if you just make sure it's consistent, stick with that layout, a hiring manager can read it properly and not miss anything. Okay, so then you can see here that Arianne has 2 roles at Epiphany. To make it really obvious to a hiring manager that she hasn't been job hopping, she got an internal promotion during that time, I would put the overall dates at the beginning with Epiphany's name. So where's the first one? July 2017 to present. So the overall time she was at Epiphany. And then I would put for each job title or job role, the dates for that one as well. So this one is April 2018 to present. So I can get rid of that. And then this one, get rid of the company name and move this to next to it, just so it's really clear that it's all the same company and not job hopping. I would also make the dates just the 3 for the months, just use the 3 letters. It just saves a little bit of room. I know Arianne's job titles aren't really long and taking up much space, but it does make it look a bit cleaner. So I'd do that for all of them as well. Make sure it all fits, it's all the same layout, and you'll end up with a really nice, neat professional experience section. Under each job role, start off with a brief, maybe 3 bullet points of what your responsibilities were in that job, but then you could also put an achievements section where you can bullet point what you achieved in each role, maybe 3 or 4 bullet points. Anything like measurable stats, if you increase the traffic 500% in a year, you can put that all in the achievements section, and I would put that under each job role and focus more on the achievement section than the responsibilities and listing what you did in your role. Because really, if someone's hiring a director of digital strategy, they know what that person does in their job. That's what they're looking for. So what did you achieve? What makes you stand out from other directors of digital strategies? I'm just going to add an achievement. Let's make it up. Increased search traffic by 1,000,000,000%. So it's got to be real. Obviously, I'm just making that one up. Anything you can back up from analytics. I know you might not be able to show a future employer data from your current one, but something that you can talk about and back up is always a good thing to put in your achievements. If you just make something up out of thin air and then get questioned on it, it's not going to be a great look when you can't back it up. On the headers, where I've put Arianne's name and address and phone number and everything, you could put on the first page, you could put your full address, which would take up probably a line. So then you would have your contact details on the second or third line. So what you can do then to save room on the next pages is do different on the first page and have that with your full address. Then if you scroll down here, you could get rid of this and have just your town or postcode, your short address there, and maybe get rid of the link that you added, or just to save some room on the second page. So I have made the changes to try and save some more space. I've made all the gaps the same size and made sure that everything's lined up and in the same format as the thing before it. So you can see very clearly where the sections of the CV start and what's a job and all that, and what's the next after that and after that. What's missing from Arianne's CV is actually an education section. We normally do an education and training section, because you might have left school when you were 16 and then got a job in digital marketing, and you haven't stopped learning at 16. You've done training, you've done courses, you've been to conferences. So you can include all of that there without just having it labelled as education. Add training there as well. So for example, you can have your degree, what you got in bold, and then where you got it from, the institution, and the date that you got it, all there. And then you can bullet point them to make it really clear. So that's how education would work. If you wanted to add training, it's the same thing. So in bold, so say an SEO training course at Brighton SEO, the institution of this training, and then the date that you were awarded it. So you can add as many as you have, all the certificates you have, all the training you've done, all the education. So your GCSEs would go there as well in the same format as this. What you got, institution and date. It's really simple. Always bold the qualification, not the institution, to highlight what you've actually achieved. No one cares that you went to Portsmouth University. No one cares if you went to Oxford. All they care about is if you got a first-class degree or you passed the training course. So always focus on that. I'd always aim to get 2 pages on your CV. Get down to 2 pages. I think this one we're on 3 pages now. Arianne does have a lot of experience. I would suggest maybe culling some of the bullet points on the certain job roles that you've got listed. Maybe your oldest jobs need cutting down, or some jobs that aren't relevant for the jobs that you're applying for in the future. That's a good way of culling it. Or just cut down what you've written, go through and edit everything that's there, and try your best to get onto 2 pages. That would really finish it off well. So finally, I'm going to download it in a PDF just so all of the formatting sticks and holds in place. And there's nothing worse than when you send it to a employer and they open it and all the formatting's disappeared and everything's gobbledygook. Here we go. So here we go. Here's the final finished CV for Arianne. I hope you found this really helpful, and you can find all of the templates on our website.
And there you have it, the perfect formula for a CV format that will ace any job search. The one thing I didn't mention was proofreading. Don't forget to spell check, proofread, and maybe get someone else to proofread as well. There is nothing worse than sending out a CV and then realising you've made a mistake on it. So always triple check what you've written. So I hope you found that helpful and interesting. Please drop a comment below or email me if you have any questions. I'm really easy to find. It's emma@clockworktalent.com. And give this video a like. Remember to subscribe to us on YouTube. We do videos weekly. And I will see you next time.